Well, then comes a 6-day cycle. By this time, either I will have gently bowed out, or the entire world will be aware of what is happening, because the novelty will be so intense. Imagine a 6-day cycle in which the entire previous 67-year, 4,306-year, up to the top level, are all being compressed and replayed in 6 days. Well, then comes the hour and 35-minute cycle. Then comes the minute and a half cycle. Then comes the 1.3 second cycle. Now, at that point, 1.3 seconds, if we assume that the cycles cannot be iterated beyond the level of Planck's constant, which is 6.55 times 10 to the minus 23rd erg seconds, the way for you to think of that is as a jiffy. It's the grain of the universe. We don't feel the need to to discuss lengths of time shorter than that, because there aren't lengths of time shorter than that. Time comes in those packets of that size. Well, if you're at 1.3 seconds cycle, you still have 13 cycles to go through before you reach the realm of Planck's constant. And you have come through 13 cycles. So the universe is only half done 1.3 seconds before its end. That's why asking what will happen in 2012 is preposterous. The mind fails. Half of the universe's evolutionary unfolding will occur in the last few milliseconds of its existence because of the asymptotic acceleration of the expression of novelty. So it's this thing which began very gently, very stately, the march of the atoms, the condensation of the stars and the galaxies, the emergence of biology, the emergence of higher animals, the emergence of... and just into then a screeching photo finish where all the stuff is bundled together, squeezed together, connected, transformed, lifted into higher dimensions. And see, this is not a process we can take responsibility for or discuss our guilt or innocence. This is the cosmos itself tearing loose from its previous constraints and moving ever faster toward ever greater freedom with ever more appetite and momentum until it achieves its goal, which is infinite novelty throughout all space and time, holographic connectedness, God-mindedness, whatever your vocabulary is, yeah. Oh, yeah, this is a completely legitimate move. I mean, it's mind-boggling to think of this in human scales of time, that half of the universe's becoming occurred in a few milliseconds. But dig the fact, that is the position of orthodox physics as we sit here. It's simply that they say it happened at the beginning. I say it'll happen at the end. What they're saying in physics now is that the universe came into, the Big Bang occurred, and then a few nanoseconds after the Big Bang, there was this thing called the inflationary expansion phase. It lasted a few nanoseconds, and in those few nanoseconds, the universe became several tens of orders of magnitude larger than it was. So it's a legitimate move in physics, however counterintuitive it may seem on the human scale, yeah. Well, the problem with the many worlds theory is it violates the principle of parsimony. In other words, that is not the simplest explanation. You all know what this is? It's the idea that whenever a process in the universe encounters a bifurcation point, that it goes both ways. In other words, And so the multiplication of possibilities in a situation like that is staggering, and I just don't feel the need for it. If I understood Wheeler's mathematics better, I might, but that theory has been around since the middle 70s, and he has a very respected position at Princeton, but he doesn't seem to be able to sway his colleagues, which doesn't mean he's wrong. I'm just saying it's a bit baroque for my taste. Well, once beyond the 0 point, by definition, novelty must mean the simultaneous realization of bifurcations of all sorts. In other words, what ultimate novelty must mean is anything we say it means. There are no limitations when novelty soars to infinity. The universe is a series of impediments to the expression of novelty. And when it has overcome all those impediments, there is a flawless, higher dimensional matrix throughout all being, I guess, is how you'd put it. Yeah. No, that's another can of strings. That's a different thing and more exotic. There's a lot of this stuff going around. I am by no means the strangest cat on the block. Is this guy Alan Guth? Have any of you looked at his website? This is a guy who's being paid a salary by MIT, for God's sake. And his thing is all about making universes. And he says we can make universes and put them on the shelf. Made this one in February, botched that one in March, and talks about how the ultimate proof of the direction in which modern physics is moving is to make a universe. After all, if they begin from an area smaller than the diameter of the hydrogen atom, a major laboratory could just stamp them out like hotcakes. Of course, the question is, what are they good for? What do you do with a universe once you've made one? But as an exercise in the imagination, take a look at what this guy is into. Let me just try to sum this up, not certainly to sum up the ideas, because the ideas are not really that important. They may be true, they may be untrue, they may reside in a domain where those rules don't apply. The feeling that I hope you take away from all of this, when you are most self-reliant, maybe you don't understand 10-dimensional vector calculus, then don't use that tool to understand. Hone the tools that you have and try to create models and understand that all models are provisional. This is the antidote to the idea of ideology. Ideology is when you believe something passionately. Models are when you dispassionately attempt to define the operation of a system, and the word model implies that you are perfectly willing to discard the model when a better model comes along. I mean, get a grip, people. Where is it writ in adamantine that talking monkeys should be able to understand the universe? If you met a termite who told you that he was on a quest to understand the universe, a certain lip-curling cynicism would ensue. Well, do you think you're better positioned than that termite to undertake that? So the thing is to understand what one understands, and then to build outward from that. And the tools are mathematics, drugs, attention to phenomena, intuition, community, and inspiration.